Of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Happy Thursday, everybody. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 9th day of September 2021. I think we have a dandy for you as we close out our Week 2 coverage. The Washington Redskins, who you saw last week lose to the Miami Dolphins, and the San Francisco 49ers, who are expected to go 15-1. They survived Detroit last week. It's their home opener against the Redskins. And yes, you're going to see San Francisco next week against the New Orleans Saints. Both high-powered offenses, both tremendously legendary coaches, and Joe Walsh. Only I could screw that up. Joe Gibbs for the Redskins and Bill Walsh for the 49ers. It's Theismann in Montana. It's 80s goodness. All you're missing is a Reggie Bar and a light cola. It is a beautifully windy day in San Francisco. And so without further ado, the Redskins and the 49ers next. As Retro Sports Network presents NFL Replay 84, Week 2 action. From Monday night, it is the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Redskins. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And so, you see Theismann and Montana warming up. Theismann did not have a good game in Week 1. He'll need to find Art Monk a little bit more often than he did against Miami if Washington has a chance. That line says San Francisco by 12. I don't buy that. Someone asked about those, and they're based on regular season played so far numbers. I would think San Francisco would be favored to win, but probably not by 12 points. We did not play the 49ers last week. Joe Montana had a big game against Detroit, and as I said earlier, they will play New Orleans next week on this channel. So, toss of the coin belongs... Oh, come on. Are you serious? Belongs to the Washington Redskins, and an itty-bitty print there on the screen. How you doing, host 00312? Nice to have you along. So Washington wins the toss, 61 degrees. They will receive. They are in white, San Francisco in red. Mike Nelm stands on the 7-yard line. Ray Wersching is ready. Griffin and Say, the up men for D.C. And the kick is taken by Nelms at the 8, 20, 30, 40, 50. And it's a front 42-yard return. 1st and 10 there. Yep, John, the lines always look weird the early part of the season because they base it on what happened in... They're not going by the replay or the real season. They're going by the replay numbers. So it'll be Joe Theismann, who ran it 6 times, pretty much all in the first quarter last week. John Riggins and Keith Griffin, the primary backs. Calvin Muhammad, Art Monk, the wide receivers. And Clint Didier is your starting tight end. Riggins, counter tray. Trap left, first play from scrimmage. Theismann hands off, Riggins over midfield. He's into the secondary and gets a gain of 10. Russ Grimm, the left guard, with the big hole, and Eric Wright brought him down. Gain of 10, 1st and 10 for the Redskins on the 49er 40. How you doing, Ramjet? Nice to have you along. The line for Washington, Joe Jacoby on the left tackle. Russ Grimm, the left guard. Jeff Bostic, the center. Rick Donnelly, the right guard. He looks and smells pretty. And George Stark, the right tackle. Riggins. Counter tray. Off tackle right. Handoff from Theismann from the 49er 40. And Riggins gets about 4 before Lawrence Pillars will bring him down. Someone else asked, at the end of one of the interceptions that Elway threw in the Chicago game, the chalkboard kind of made it look like a weird play. You should always know that the game will run the play as soon as I call it, as any game will, and then it will draw it. Now, it's all instantaneous because of the processing power and speed of modern machines. But if you want to know the steps, the chalkboard knows what it's going to draw before it draws it. The computer runs the play, it rolls the random number generator, runs the play, and then the computer diagrams it for us to see. But that's all, it's all done instantly. How you doing, DJ John? But it's not that the chalkboard is drawing the play as it happens. The computer knows what the play is. You'll see it sometimes when I know an interception is coming, when the quarterback goes back, and it's a slow process. So just to figure that one out for you, we'll do the 49er defense after this next play. Calvin Muhammad on a medium cross on 2nd and 6. Theismann, flag is down, throws, that's incomplete.
Pass interference, defense, number 42.
And it's on Ronnie Lott of all people. And that's an automatic first down. So the Redskins have it 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 20. San Francisco plays a 3-4. Dwayne Board, the left end. Michael Carter, the nose tackle. And Lawrence Pillar is the right end. Jeff Fuller is the left outside linebacker. Ricky Ellison, don't lose that number. He's the left inside linebacker. Jim Farnhorst is the right inside linebacker. Keena Turner, his sister has that hot album, Private Dancer, out, and he is the right outside linebacker. And if I get the lefts and the rights here mixed up, don't shoot the messenger. Carlton Williamson is the free safety. Dwight Hicks, the strong safety. Ronnie Lott, who just got called for that flag, is the right corner. And Eric Wright, the left corner. Yep, more Baker Mayfield Hulu this year. There you go. So 1st and 10 for the Redskins on the San Francisco 20. Clock stop 13:26. Medium hitch to Art Monk. Theismann back to throw. He gets rid of it, and that is incomplete. They double-team Monk, and Michael Carter hurried the pass. So 2nd and 10 from the 20. Riggo. Trap left. No counter this time. Reagans, he moves the line along for 4 before Carlton Williamson can make the stop. 3rd and 6. And they certainly are well within Mark Mosley range from here. Opening drive of the game, no score. Redskins 0-1. If you remember, they lost to Miami last Tuesday right here. And San Francisco beat Detroit. We'll show you those in a minute. Ron, yes. If I import a couple players from another team into my team, will the AI automatically put them in the starting lineup if they are better players than my current players, or must I manually put them in the lineup in every possible formation for my current team? I've never done that before. I assume it looks at the ratings and adjusts that way, but don't hold me to that. So the answer is I don't know. Who are you punching up for a team? 3rd down and 6. Medium out. Art Monk. San Francisco forces an audible. Riggo on the dive from the 16, and he actually gets 4 yards. It'll be 4th and 2. John says you need to reset the depth charts. That would make a lot of sense. Ramjet is thinking of transferring the Watt brothers, JJ and TJ, to my Green Bay Packer team. They're famous here in Wisconsin and played for my high school alma mater. I think John's advice is right. You'd have to reset. That's a cool project, though, and you can definitely do that with this game. 4th and 2 as we go back to the field. Mark Mosley coming on for the field goal. 87% chance of hitting this one from 29 yards. Jeff Hayes, the punter, will hold. Mosley, straight ahead kicker. That's good. And the Redskins are on the board first. Hey, it's Apollo time. 12:02 alarm. First quarter, 3-0 Washington. So Monroe is your deep man. Man, that is a dark gold. Ronnie Harmon and Dana McLemore are your upmen for San Francisco, as Mosley gets set to kick from the 35. And they will take a knee because that's 6 yards deep. And Joe Montana and company come out from their own 20. No time off the clock. Montana completed 88% of his passes last week against the Lions. Roger Craig, more of a fullback in this formation. He had 9 catches last week for 84. Wendell Tyler, their primary running back, but he can catch in this West Coast offense. Dwight Clark is your flanker. He had 5 for 71. And Freddie Solomon, your split end. He had 8 catches last week for 130 and an end around. The tight end is Earl Cooper. 1st and 10. Craig in the flat is the call. Montana near side, and he leads Roger astray. 2nd and 10. The line for San Francisco. Keith Farnhorst, the left tackle. John Ayers, the left guard. Fred Quillen is your center. Randy Cross, the right guard. And Bubba Paris, the big right tackle. 2nd and 10, Tyler. Trap right, handoff from Montana from the 20. Tyler gets a block into the secondary, but not a first down. It is a gain of 9 before Perry Brooks can bring him down. It'll be 3rd and a short one for the 49ers. Redskins play a 4-3. Charles Mann, the left defensive end. Dexter Manley, the right defensive end. He was very quiet last week against Miami. Big Dave Butts and Perry Brooks, the nose tackles. Milt Kaufman is a left outside linebacker. Oklowitz fills up the middle. And Rich Malott is the right outside linebacker. Vernon Dean, who was torched a lot by Marino, covers Solomon. And Darrell Green, who had the interception last week against Marino, gets to cover Dwight Clark. Ken Coffey, the strong safety, and Curtis Jordan, the free safety, although both are playing as strong safeties. 3rd and 1, Craig. Trap left from handoff from Montana, and he's going to get the measurement, and it's a gain of 2. So 1st and 10 for San Francisco on their own 31. Opening drive for the 49ers. Redskins lead at 3-0. Solomon on a long slant. Montana has time. He goes to Earl Cooper instead, a second read.
Offsides, defense. Number 71, 5-yard penalty.
The flag is down. That would have been an offside against Charles Mann. They'll take the 7 yards and make it 2nd and 3. So Cooper, a 7-yard gain. And Montana, with the clock stopped at 10:31, gets one of those scripted plays from Bill Walsh. Tyler on a dive. Tyler moves ahead and gets a gain of 2 before Charles Mann can get there. 3rd and 1. San Francisco going into the wind at 5-15. 61 degrees. Clear skies at Candlestick. Of course, what you can't see is the giant infield is still in there. They're going to throw it on 3rd and 1. Short slant to Clark. Instead, it's a dive to Tyler as Montana audibles. Tyler, and he got it. He got the Dave Gardner measurement. My goodness. He got 1. He needed about 3/4, and he got 1. So 1st and 10, 9:48, clock running. Yep, you can trade and create players in Action PC Football. And all the sports. Our friend Big Clue is doing that with the 75 Oakland A's. Craig on a flat pass again. Montana's going to try. And Craig and Montana are not on the same page. That's incomplete. 2nd and 10. 9:08 to go. Opening quarter. So Dwight Clark on a medium slant. Redskins flush out Montana. He goes deep. He's got Craig at the 25, and he's hit for a gain of 43. Montana scrambled around. Roger Craig just ran right down the field and caught the bomb from Joe Montana. It's a gain of 43. Ken Coffey with the tackle. Montana threw for 337 against the Lions last week and has 50 yards here in the first possession. You see this, he beat the safety who tried to follow him, and it's 1st and 10 from the Washington 16. Craig, sweep right on 1st and 10, and off from Montana. 15-10, first down, touchdown. Roger Craig made that happen. He got a block. He made his own block, to be honest. And it's 6-3 San Francisco. He cut to the outside, and there was all sorts of daylight. Ran through the warning track and everything. So 9 plays, 80 yards in 3 minutes and 52 seconds. See if they give it Wershing. Yep, it's good. So 8:10 to go on KGO, 7-3 49ers. That was a hot knife through butter play, wasn't it? So Nelms back to return for Washington on the 6th. Griffin and Say, yep, man, this will be returned from the end zone. Nelms from 1 yard deep, 10, and Joe Gibbs will want that one back as Reynolds makes the tackle at the 12 for a gain of 13. Joe Washington starts in this one. Thank you, John. You got it. Joe Washington in the flat, the call from the 12. Theismann throws. Washington has it. 15-20, first down. Hicks forces the fumble. Keith Farnhorst picks it up. And San Francisco has the ball on the Washington 23. They turn it over. So Joe Washington had it stripped by Dwight Hicks. And Farnhorst picked it up. He had the first down and just played hot potato with it. His home ec teacher will keep him after school for not remembering how to handle the hard-boiled egg. So 1st and 10 for the 49ers on the Washington 23. They already lead at 7-3. Going to try a touchdown pass to Solomon on a long slant. Skins blitz. They get down Montana for a loss of 9. Boy, my voice is already going nuts. Rich Malott with a sack. And Montana collects himself at the Washington 32.
This might answer your question.
Yes.
Jesse Salomon, also called Washington State Senator of District 32, is Jesse Salomon, and he took office in 2018.
Thank you.
You bet.
And this would be where we would have the swipe on the screen with the NBC Peacock, the more you know. So 2nd and 19 for San Francisco on the Washington 32. Tyler on a draw. Handoff from Montana. Oh, the Redskins have a safety blitz. And Tyler is brought down by Curtis Jordan for a loss of 3. Jordan came in like a meteor. And it's 3rd down and 22. So Craig on a screen is the call. Near side, he's got it at the 40, 30, 20. He got 18 of those yards back on 3rd and 22. Ken Coffey missed the tackle, and Vernon Dean eventually made the stop. Wersching will come out for a 34-yarder here on 4th and 4. But Montana... Wow, John. 3 for 5 for 68 yards. Have I been eating old MREs? No, I have not. That can affect my voice. I did the halftime show just before we did the game. But yes, you get a gold star and a cookie for that reference, for sure. So Wersching from 34, Montana to hold. This is to make it 10-3. He boots it up. He boots it good. So they get 3 points off the boo-boo from Washington. 5:46 to go, first quarter. It is the 49ers 10, the Redskins 3. I'm going to take a quick drink. All I got around me is cold relief pills, and can't really suck on those. So Nelms will stand on his 8. Washington playing for the return. Wersching up to the far sideline. Nelms from the 2, the 10, 20. Got a good return this time to the 29.
Illegal block. Receiving team.
But it's coming back like a chia pet the day after Christmas as Darrell Green gets called for the illegal block. And Washington takes over on their own 12. I've done some Peter Brady cracks before. You'd think at 49 and 9/10 that I wouldn't be doing it anymore. So the Redskins trail 10-3 here. Reagans. Counter. Trap right. Hand off from Theismann. Reagans gets a block over 15-20. First down. Cuts back inside before Keena Turner makes the tackle after a gain of 13. So 1st and 10 for the Skins, 5.5 to go, clock running first quarter. Washington has run the ball well to start the game. They've also turned it over once. Griffin. Counter trade, pitch left. Far side does get a block over the 30. Farnhorst makes the tackle. Jacoby led the charge, and it's a gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Joe Washington will come back out on a fullback dive. Handoff from Theismann. Washington's got it. No! Oh, I thought they had it. But they got the Al Red Sox fan measurement. It's 3rd down and short. So a 2 tight end set. The jumbo package is in. And Reagans will run the counter dive. And Wiggo, he got 2. And it's 1st and 10 for Washington. 3:29 to go. So from the Washington 37, 4 plays, 25 yards. Monk on a medium slant, and Theismann didn't like what he saw, so he is forced to call time. 2:56 to go in the opening quarter. It's the 49ers 10, the Redskins 3. Monk on a medium fly from the 37. Theismann throws quickly to Monk over midfield. It's caught, and Eric Wright brought him down for a gain of 15. So 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 48. And for Monk, that's going to be a lot easier today than it was last week against Miami and the Killer Bees. Griffin. Sweep left on the counter. And Theismann calls time again. Joe Gibbs is going, did you have lunch with Andy Reid or something like that? So the Redskins are down to one timeout with pi minus 1 on the clock, 2:14. Trap left for Griffin. Hand off from Theismann, 45. He's hit by Eric Wright at the 43, and that's a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 for Washington. 2:08 to go. Muhammad on a medium out. Theismann has time back there. Near sideline, he's got Muhammad for a first down. Cuts back in a little bit. Ronnie Lott with a tackle, a gain of 21. Ball will be placed on the San Francisco 22. 1st and 10. So a good drive for the Skins here as they try to tie this game late in the first quarter. Riggins. Dive counter play. Hand off from Joey T. Riggins across the 20 to the 15. And Eric Wright's had a busy drive. Riggins 7 carries in this opening stanza for 44 yards. Redskins have the win for the next 46 seconds. 2nd and 3, clock running. Didier on a short cross, but a flag is down.
False start. Offense, number 53.
And it's
5-yard
Jeff
penalty.
Bostic who moved early, and with 12 seconds to go, it'll be 2nd and 8 from the San Francisco 20. Theismann. Medium slant to the tight end, Didier the call. Theismann back to throw. He goes to Monk instead. It's a first down, a gain of 10, and that will do it here in the first quarter. Well, it's been an entertaining affair after 15 minutes. We'll go through all the stats and stories right after you see this. My fan here in the bedroom always sounds like an airplane about to take off. Decent scoring period to start the football game. Roger Craig pretty much had a one-man drive, 16-yard touchdown run with 8:10 to go in the first, made it 7-3 San Francisco. Mosley on Washington's first possession with a 29-yard field goal. And then following a Joe Washington fumble, Ray Wersching hit a 34-yard field goal. And that's how we get to 10-3. 7-4 the first downs in favor of Washington. Theismann 4 of 5 for 57. Montana 3 for 5 for 68. And that's how we got here. First and goal. Well, 1st and 10 from the 49er 10-yard line. 2 tight ends set. Didier and Warren. Riggins. Counter. Trap right on first down. Theismann hands off. Riggins tries to get something going there. Keena Turner and half of San Francisco on the tackle. And that is a gain of 2, 2nd and goal. Pitch left for Griffin. Theismann does. Griffin, does he get a block? He does to the 5. But Jim Feinhorst brought him down at the 3 for a gain of 5. And it's 3rd down from there. Now, Theismann, I wonder if he'll try to call his own number down here. Opening minute of the second quarter. And Theismann says, I want to do it on the bootleg. So Theismann's going to run the Chinese fire drill here. Goes right, goes left, and he's sacked. Oh, he had a 28% chance of scoring there. But he loses 7 instead. Oh, yep, okay. Jim Farnhorst with a tackle. And Joe Gibbs takes one look at Theismann as Joe goes back to the sideline and says, "Don't you do that again." So here's Mosley from 27 yards. Theismann volunteered to go hold the kick here, but Gibbs said, no. I'm going to make you watch Tony Stewart YouTube videos now. No. Mosley from 27 is up and good. So the Redskins do get something out of it, but not the 7 they were looking for. 12:48 to go in the first half. 49ers 10, Washington 6. So Monroe back deep to return for San Francisco with Harmon and McLemore. Kick taken by Monroe at the 2 to the 10, 20, and the ball is on the ground. That's a fumble, and Dave Butts picked it up. The 49ers have turned it over on the San Francisco 23. I think Theismann is the happiest one there to get that back because he didn't have to listen to Gibbs go anymore. They talked to Joe Theismann on his radio show after the game Sunday, and Theismann goes, "I don't know who the heck Smoke is, and why Joe Gibbs keeps calling me that." So from the 23, the Redskins take over. They trail 10-6. Riggins off tackle right, no counter this time. Riggins to the 20, and he's hit by Keena Turner after a gain of 7. That's 4 tackles for Turner. And it's 2nd and 3 from the Niners 16. Didier on a short cross. Theismann has time, but he doesn't have Didier. It was tipped away by Jim Farnhorst. So Theismann, 4 for 6 for 57. Clock stopped 11:55 here. They're going to go with Riggins. And he's going to go with the trap left with the counter. Riggins, he gets a block. He's to the 10. That's a gain of 6 and pretty much the same drive as it was before. It's 1st and goal from the San Francisco 10. Riggo, 10 carries, 59 yards. Theismann asked to run it. Gibbs tells him to go pound sand. Trap right to Keith Griffin on a counter. Does he get a block? He does to the 5. He pushes everyone down to the 1. And I'll just read this as it is on the screen. Didier was hurt on the play. Intestinal. Didier coming out. Out for the game. Someone ate the cream chip beef before the game, I think. Jeff Bostic, by the way, the center, made the big block. Ronnie Lott with the tackle is 2nd. 2nd and goal from the 1. Riggins on a dive. They send the receiver in motion. Theismann hands off, and Washington. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. So Riggins, 11 carries, 60 yards in the first, 19 minutes of the game. And it's 12-10 Washington following that. So here's Mosley for the extra point. It is up. It is good. So, 10:59 to go in the first half. Redskins 13, the 49ers 10. Monroe again, back deep. Takes it at the 3. To the 20, 25.
Illegal block. Receiving team, 10 yards.
But that's not Ronnie Lott. That's the 2nd flag against Ronnie on the night. And so Montana and company start on their own 11. Trailing 13-10. Both teams have turned it over once. San Francisco got a field goal. The Redskins got a touchdown. Medium out to Clark on 1st and 10. Montana, Mel Kaufman with a sack. Montana heard footsteps and didn't throw it. So it's now 2nd and 19 on the San Francisco 2. Isn't this the rematch of the 83 NFC Championship game? The Redskins defense is keyed up. 2 tight end set. Cooper and Russ Francis. Tyler. Fullback dive from the 2. Trying to get some room. He gets it out over the 5. Curtis Jordan brings him down at the 8. That's a gain of 6, 3rd and 13. And for the first time, they'll go 3 wide. Ronaldo Nehemiah, the high hurdler, joins Dwight Clark at the near side of your screen. Freddie Solomon up top. And they're going to go with, I need 13. Freddie Solomon, who was a runner in his own right. Montana to throw it. He does. He finds Tyler at the 10. He goes to his second read. And that's a gain of 4. And the 49ers will be forced to punt. So the Montana sack is big. They only got 1 yard out of the whole kit and caboodle. And for the first time, we'll see the Philadelphia Eagles' old friend Max Runniger. He, with the wind behind him, will boom this deep, but he's standing from his own end zone. Runniger gets it away. Good kick taken by Nelms at the 45. He is swarmed under. After a gain of 3, they'll spot it at the 40. So a 31-yard punt and a 28-yard net, and Theismann and company are working with a short field. Medium out to Art Monk. Theismann back to throw. Far sideline. Monk's got it. First down, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Eric Wright missed the tackle, and Art Monk high-fived it in the end zone. So 3 plays, 65 yards. This was a 1-play drive for 40, and the Redskins are up 19-10. So Theismann now 5 of 7 for 97 yards. And the home opener for the 49ers isn't going all that well. Mosley's extra point is good. So, my goodness gracious. 8:39 to go, first half. It's the Redskins 20, the 49ers 10. So Monroe to try to return this. He will go to the far sideline at the 8, to the 20, 30. Good return. Hit at the 34, return of 26. So Bill Walsh pulled out the chalkboard and told Joe Montana, don't do that. Just don't do that. Craig on a trap right on 1st and 10. He is hit at for a gain of 1, rather, by Perry Brooks. And it'll be 2nd and 9. Montana will try a short out to the tight end, Earl Cooper. He throws. He's got Cooper by the far sideline, first down. And Curtis Jordan made the tackle after a gain of 12. So spot the ball at the San Francisco 47. 49ers working it right to left in their white jerseys red jerseys with white numbers and gold pants, gold helmet, and I think the face mask is battleship gray. Redskins in their white tops, yellow pants, burgundy helmet with the golden face mask. Or Gould's mustard, one of the two. So from the 47, Montana will go to the air again. Medium slant to Dwight Clark. Montana throws it and dropped by Clark. Darrell Green got there to make the hit. The clock is stopped with 7:05 to go on the San Francisco 47, 2nd and 10. Tyler on a quick pitch. And he's got some room. 50 into Redskin territory. He got 10, but they must have needed 10 and a blade of grass as Neil Oklowitz makes the tackle. 3rd down in inches for San Francisco from the Washington 43. Montana will try to sneak this one on 3rd and inches. He gets the C's to part. He gets his yard. Dave Butts with a tackle. And it's 1st and 10 for San Francisco on the Washington 42. 6:13 to go. Clock running here. San Francisco, they got plenty of time. Solomon on a medium cross. Montana waits. Solomon runs the route, has it, 1st down at the 25. Vernon Dean makes a tackle after a gain of 18, 1st and 10. Yeah, Todd, a bunch of scoring already. San Francisco led 10-3, and then the Redskins have come storming back. So 30 points. The computer has San Francisco favored by 12. Not buying that for a second. 1st and 10. A stretch play to Craig. Craig, can he stretch it? Yes, he does. He gets about 2 before Perry Brooks brings him down. 4:47 clock running here. 2nd and 8 for the 49ers. They'll go 3 wide. And Montana out of the gun. Oh, fighting a nasty ear infection. That's not good. So talk loud. It's the opposite of how my wife wants me to talk, Todd B. Nehemiah on a medium hitch is the call. Montana scrambles, throws near side. No. Nehemiah's a hurdler, but he couldn't get that high. And it's 3rd and 8. Remember, no Jerry Rice yet. In fact, the Redskins doubled Nehemiah. They read the play well. Solomon on a medium cross. Montana from the 22. He looks, he's got time. He's got Solomon at the 5, and Solomon scores. So the 49ers fight right back. Freddie Solomon, 2 catches for 40 and a score, and it's now a 4-point game. 3:56 to go. I take no responsibility, before I read that, on spousal relations. Except for mine. Here it is again. Montana looked like he was going to run. Solomon ran his route, got it at the 5, and scored. Todd B says, now I have an excuse. I didn't hear my wife say that. Yes. Yes, you do. I can neither confirm or deny that. Here's the extra point by Warshing. It's good. So 3:56 to go in the first half. We got ourselves a dandy. Call your friends and tell them there's a good fake football game on. 2017 Washington. So here's Nelms back deep to return. And that's out of the end zone. That's a touchback. What was the actual score? I don't know off the top of my head. These two teams are pretty good. This was a Monday night game. 3:56 to go. Theismann and company take over on their own 20. Muhammad. Medium slant. They'll go to an audible. Screen pass to Griffin. That's the call. Far side. Theismann throws, and there is nobody there. Jeff Fuller with a hurry. 2nd and 10. Muhammad on a medium cross. Theismann has time. He throws down to Riggins. Riggins caught it at the 20, and Fuller brings him down after a gain of 6, 3rd and 4. Washington used 2 of their timeouts on back-to-back plays in the first quarter. So they only have one left here in the closing stages of the first half. 3rd down and 4. Riggins. Counter trade, trap left. Hand off from Theismann. Riggins gets a block, 1st down, gain of 7. Dwayne Board makes the tackle, and Keith Griffin, the fullback, gets credit for the big block. 2:51 to go here in the second. Washington leading 20-17. Monk on a long slant from the 33. Theismann rolls near side, throws across for Monk at midfield. He made the catch. Eric Wright brought him down. It's a gain of 22. Monk has 4 first-half catches for 87 yards. And the Redskins will take it to the 2-minute warning. They lead San Francisco 20-17. So they go 3 wide. Now Charlie Brown. Yes, we talked about this yesterday on Digital Dice. Stratomatic, the football game, is offering the entire 1968 set. That's the NFL and the AFL on cards and dice. It's not just the best 6 teams and you're going to print out the rest. Oh, no. It's the whole kit and caboodle at Stratomatic.com. Charlie Brown, the 3rd receiver, he's up top. Medium cross to him from the San Francisco 45. Theismann waits, throws. Brown's got it. 1st down at the 30. Dana McLemore will make the tackle after a gain of 16. 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 29. Joel Washington in the backfield for receiver. Flat pass from Theismann to call. Washington splits up to the top. He's got it. And he cuts back inside across the other side of the field. 25-20. And that's a gain of 12. And he steps out of bounds. So 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 17. And it is indeed, Mr. Mao, a shootout at the stick. After the halftime show, we got a bunch to go through here. 1st and 10. Todd B has the 78 original selector set, so that's the old game of about 10 to 12 teams. Bought it originally, or 78 at KB. That's where I bought my first track game, too. And then sent it away for like 6 teams. That's cool. I haven't played the quote-unquote newer version of Strat football. 1st and 10 from the 49er 17. Muhammad. Medium hitch is the call. Theismann back. He's blitzed. And he throws it to Warren. Incomplete, the tight end. 2nd and 10. Washington will try the draw with Washington. The pendulum swings, and Joe is hit at the 12 for a gain of 5. So they're running the clock here. 3rd down and 5 for Theismann and company. A short cross to Calvin Muhammad is the call. Theismann is going to get sacked by Jeff Fuller and a loss of 5. So the Redskins will try the kick from the San Francisco 17. It will be a 34-yarder. And they'll let that clock run all the way down to 13 seconds. Before taking their last time out. 9 plays, 63 yards. Mosley from 77% chance. Hayes to hold. Mosley misses to the right. Wow. So with 9 seconds left, Montana says, let's just go to the house. I'm just going to take a knee, and that's the first half. We've got ourselves a barn burner. San Francisco will take it. When we come back to score, the Redskins 20, the 49ers 17. Third quarter, the Jets were down 29-14. They make it a 1-point game with 5:09 to go. Ray, a fumble recovery, and Leahy for the extra point. But Gary Anderson, a chip shot at the end to give Pittsburgh a 4-point lead. The Giants all over Dallas, 20-3. Phil Simms, actually Rob Carpenter is a big hero. 38 carries, 163 yards, a catch, and for 4 yards, including a 2-yard touchdown run at the end of the first quarter to make it 17-0. Dallas held to a field goal by Raphael Septien. The Lions and Falcons play an absolute dandy at Fulton County Stadium. Gary Danielson, 21 for 32, 294 yards and 4 scores. He also throws a pick, and also with a winning score with 1:26 to go from 19 yards out to make it 42-38. Overall, 7 carries for Gary for 58 yards and a score. He is off to a flying start, although he's not in the list of top 5 in the NFL overall yardage-wise. That's what I meant to say. The Bengals go to 1-1. They beat Kansas City 20-7. Larry Kennebrew, 23 carries, 95 yards, 2 scores. And in fact, he had the only score that the Bengals needed in the first quarter on an 11-yard gain. He also made 6 catches for 35 yards. The lone score for Kansas City. Todd Blackledge, heading to a TV booth near you, a 73-yard touchdown pass to Carlos Carson. Minnesota and Philadelphia. Another dandy at the vet. Mike Quick, 12 catches for 184 yards and 2 scores, including a 20-yarder from Jaworski in the first and a 47-yarder just before the half to make it 24-20. Minnesota, Tommy Kramer with a big day. 13-yard pass to Jordan in the third quarter. And, well, actually, that was his only touchdown pass of the day. Jan Stenerud, 1-2 field goals. And Allen Anderson and Brown with runs. Minnesota and Philly, not a lot of defense there. You understand why the Eagles wanted Buddy Ryan. 41-37 the final at the vet. Both teams are now 1-1. Patriots and the Dolphins. Those Dolphins, well, the next year they get squished at home, but not this year. 23-14. Danny Marino, 23 for 34, 277 yards and 2 scores. Duper in the first quarter, and the game clincher to Nat Moore with 1:39 to go. St. Louis and Buffalo pulled out the stops at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals win 36-21. Otis Anderson, 28 carries, 98 yards, 3 catches for 34. The Cardinals go 1-1. The Bills fall to 0-2. Most of Buffalo's points came in garbage time. 2 Joe Ferguson touchdowns late. Neil Lomax started the scoring with a 42-yard pass to Tilly. A big day for Neil O'Donohue, the kicker. He had 5 field goals for the Cardinals. The Colts are 2-0 since moving to Indianapolis. They beat Houston 31-17. McMillan, 15 carries, 78 yards in the score. Also had 2 catches for 21 and a touchdown, including a 10-yard pass from Mike Pagel with 8:15 to go. That actually was the game winner. Pagel put the game away with a 6-yard scramble with 3 minutes to go. Warren Moon showing signs of progress. A big 79-yard pass to Smith for a score in the second quarter, but the Oilers fall to 0-2. The game that you saw, Chicago beat Denver 13-10 in a slobber knocker. John Elway made it close late. Steve Watson, 4 catches for 122 and a score. That came on a 54-yard pass from Elway with 5:57 to go. But the Bears slammed the door to go to 2-0. Denver falls to 1-1. New Orleans 2-0 on the young season. Tampa falls to 0-2, but they do at least get a touchdown. They lose 20-10. James Wilder, 31 carries for 142 yards in the score, 6 catches for 49. Richard Todd, 2 touchdown passes, one to Hoagie Gajan and the other one to Young in the second quarter to make it 14-7, and that's all the Saints would need. The Rams beat Cleveland 28-13. The Rams go to 1-1. Irvin, 2 interception returns for a touchdown, or 2 interceptions, a touchdown, 7 tackles, and 3 defense passes. Cleveland was just all over the place. 3 turnovers led to automatic touchdowns. Nolan Cromwell, a 43-yard interception return to start in the second half. Johnson with 4:16 to go in the third. And then Irvin, as we said, a 62-yard interception return in the fourth in the last minute. The Rams go to 1-1. The Browns go to 0-2. The Raiders beat the Packers 20-14. Marcus Allen, 6 catches, 87 yards, 28 runs for 76 and a score. That came in the second quarter, 3:54 to go, a 6-yard plunge. It was 17-0 at that point. Green Bay would make it close. Lynn Dickey, who leads the NFL in passing with 613 yards. 2 late scores, one to Epps from 75 and Paul Coffman from 9. It wouldn't matter. Fast and furious the comeback was, but Green Bay falls to 1-1. The Raiders 2-0, and that big jumble in the AFC West. Seattle goes to 2-0 on the year. Dave Craig, a magnificent day, 23 for 25, 297 and 2 scores as they easily handled Dan Fouts and the Chargers 30-13. It was tied at 10 in the second quarter. Craig found Largent just at the 2-minute warning from 7 yards to make it 17-10, and that was it. Craig found Turner for 63 late in the third quarter, 27-10, and that's how we got the final score. So the standings in the NFL after 2 weeks: Dallas, New York, Philadelphia, and St. Louis are all 1-1. Washington, we'll find out later on. If Washington does beat San Francisco, the entire division's 1-1. Chicago 2-0 in the Central. Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota all within a game. In the West, New Orleans in first place. San Francisco playing right now, as you know. They could be 2-0 by the time the day is done. The Rams are 1-1. In the AFC East, Indianapolis is the big surprise. They're 2-0. And along with Miami, the Patriots are 1-1. Buffalo and the Jets, it's already 1985 for them. Pittsburgh off to a good start in the AFC Central. They are 2-0. The Bengals 1-1. And in the NFC West, where it's just going to be craziness all season, the Raiders and the Seahawks are 2-0. Denver and San Diego are 1-1. Eric Dickerson, by the way, leads the NFL with 250 yards rushing. Mike Quick has 17 catches. And Gary Danielson has 8 passing touchdowns. Sorry for that. So, games next week. New Orleans and San Francisco will be the Tuesday game. And the halftime game, we expect to be Seattle and Cleveland. However, that could get, Seattle and New England from Foxborough. So, because the Chiefs were supposed to be the game with the Raiders, but the Raiders are now favored by 16. Not a lot of great matchups for you next week. So, Seattle and New England, New Orleans, San Francisco. That's the lineup next week. I'm Ron Juckett. Back to the second half right now. And a slobber knocker here. 20-17, the Redskins, 17 second quarter points. Mark Mosley, a field goal with from 27 to make it 10-6. And then after a turnover, John Riggins, a one-yard nesty plunge to make it 13-10. Joe Theismann found Art Monk from 40 with 8:39 to go to make it 20-10. And then Montana found Freddie Solomon with 3:56 to go to make it 20-17. Lots of scoring, lots of yardage. Theismann 9 of 13 for 153. Montana 7 for 11. He gets a Slurpee and is thrown for 124 yards. So with all that, 23 of 25 was Craig. And DJ John's waiting for his strat cards. And Todd Blackledge is the pride of Canton, Ohio. Good for him. Monroe back deep to return. Mosley kicks it to the goal line. Monroe to the 10, 15.
Holding. Receiving team.
And Ellison gets called for the hold. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 5. Montana takes his troops out. Tyler and Craig, the running backs. Clark and Solomon, the wide receivers. Joe Cooper, the tight end. Farnhorst and Paris, the tackles. Ayers and Cross, the guards. And Quillen is your center. Craig on a fullback dive. They will not audible out of it. Montana hands off. Craig over the 10. That was the right call. Darrell Green with the tackle. A gain of 7. How you doing there, Bradley? Nice to have you along. Washington plays with a 4-3. Manley and Man the ends. Butts and Brooks the tackles. Malott and Kaufman the outside linebackers. Neil Olkowitz is the inside linebacker. Green and Dean are the corners. Coffey and Jordan the safety. 2nd down and 3 for San Francisco. Trap right for Wendell Tyler. Hand off from Montana. Tyler is going to get the 1st down by the hair of his chinny chin chin. That's a gain of 3. Mel Kaufman with a stop. Opening minute here of the 2nd half. Washington. It's been a good football game. So 1st and 10. Ruh-roh, roar me up in the bullpen if Ron's voice goes, or we can experiment with that infamous no audio game from the NFL archives. Has anyone actually ever seen footage from that game? That was a Saturday afternoon special between the Jets and the Dolphins in 1980, where it was a gimmick because the Jets were so bad. 1st and 10 for San Francisco. Clark on a medium fly. Montana's in trouble here. He might get picked. He throws, and that will get picked by a corner. And Darrell Green leaps, picks it up, and he brings it down to the 13-yard line. So Darrell Green, with his Pro Bowl credentials, got it at the 41 and returned it down to the San Francisco 13. He made the giant leap, and it was Dwight Clark who made the tackle. The Jets, why would anyone? It was a national TV Saturday afternoon affair from the Orange Bowl in beautiful Miami. So let's see if Theismann can take advantage of this. Muhammad on a medium slant to call. Theismann back in the pocket, throws, and Ronnie Lott got a piece of it. 2nd and 10. Off tackle right for Riggins on the counter tray. Hand off from Theismann. Riggins inside the 10 to the 9, and Ricky Ellison makes a tackle there. Amish Elvis and his blindingly white text. How are you? You must select that, because everyone else is a different color all the time. Starting to sound like Sean McDonough now. Someday the Jets might return to the Super Bowl. Hey, the Cubs finally did. And as Snow White said at the photomat, someday my prince will come. 3rd down and 6. Monk on a short slant. They want a touchdown. Theismann rolls around. He goes to Griffin instead. Incomplete. The word Redskin, by the way, sets off the auto mod here on Twitch. The 49ers won this game. Pittsburgh was the only team to beat them. The Redskins could reverse history. They're looking at this at wherever, at Amazon headquarters, going, No, I changed it. Okay. Do that a couple more times and you can, yeah, skin's red. Yeah. So Mosley, let's try this. This will make it 23-17 from 26 yards. It's good. So the 49er fans don't like it, but the Redskins, with 12:33 to go in the third quarter, have a one-score lead. Why would I ban the word Guardians? I didn't ban it. I added it. Kick is taken by Monroe at the 9 to the 20. And
Holding. Receiving team.
Keena Turner is going to need a private dancer if he keeps making these stupid penalties. And Montana this time will start from a zone 6. Okay, well, we'll hold off on the pig Latin. So Montana starts deep in his own territory, trying not to get picked off again. 2 turnovers for the 49ers. The Redskins have 10 points. Way to go, Asterisks. There you go. Trap right for Tyler. From the 6, he gets to the 8-yard line, a gain of 2 before Parry Brooks makes the tackle. Washington could have... What was the final score of this game in real life? I didn't look. 2nd and 8. Taylor on a flat pass. Theismann to the bottom of your screen. Taylor has it at the 4 to the 10. He's got a first down. He's hit at the 20 by Vernon Dean. It's a gain of 12. And the 49ers have a fresh set. 11:41 clock running. Third quarter. Solomon. Medium slant to call. Montana waits. Solomon runs his route, and he actually beat his receiver, but the throw went behind him, and Montana is incomplete. 8 of 14 now for $136. Theismann 9 of 15 for 153. Craig. Pitch right to call. Craig to the far sideline. Gets a bit of a block. He is hit at the 25 by Charles Mann. Being told that this was a real-life pinball game, 37-31 San Francisco. It's possible that that could be the score of this. So 3rd and 5. Yeah, Sam the Bam Cunningham passed away. We talked about that a bit yesterday on the podcast. Clark. Medium hitch. 3 wide receivers. 2 your bottom of your screen. Montana's going to scramble, and he got about a yard before Rich Malott brought him down. And my voice is starting to go. He woke up with the Sox ahead of the Yanks in the standings. Yep, both of those teams are about as World Series quality as a 1-pound bag of Armour hot dogs. So Runiger will punt from his 26. I'll tell you what, if this goes on much longer, we might suspend it and just come on at noon tomorrow to finish it. Because, yeah, the voice is starting to go. Runiger, with the wind behind him, will punt it. Taken by Nelms at the 28. He gets good field position. A return of 11. Ronnie Lott with a tackle. Brad's still got 4 more hours of work. Yep. Remember in the D.C. area, after the mugging in the Super Bowl, Jack Squirick says hello, by the way. And the 0-2 start, a very unhappy fan base. And Washington hoping to change history. Right now, 1st and 10 from the Redskin 41. Griffin trap left. Handoff from Theismann. Griffin gets a bit of a block. The ball is loose. Wright forces the fumble, and Higgs comes away with it. And San Francisco's got the ball back with 9.5 to go in the third. So Washington turns it over in their own half of the field, no less. And the 49ers have it 1st and 10 on the Redskin 45. 9.5 to go. It is indeed a San Francisco treat. Do they have anyone else? Harmon and Ring. Ronnie Harmon in the backfield. Or Derek Harmon. Trap right, 1st and 10. Montana hands off from the 45, and Harmon gets a gain of 3. Perry Brooks with the stop. 2nd and 7 from the Redskin 42. Tyler, short pass in the flat, far side. Montana throws. Tyler has it, and he blocks 40. 1st down 35. He's hit at the 30 by Malott. And Montana has a fresh set. Craig, sweep right from the 30. Gets a block, and it goes nowhere as Charles Mann makes the tackle. 8 minutes to go. San Francisco already in worshing range from 46. Earl Cooper. A short slant from Montana, back to throw. Safety blitz, throws. Cooper's got it, 1st down over the 20. Hit by Curtis Jordan at the 16, a gain of 13. So San Francisco, this perked them right up. Following the turnover, both teams have turned it over twice. San Francisco looking for the go-ahead score. 1st and 10. Craig. We'll sweep it to the near side. Nope, Washington was going to jam him. So Tyler on a dive on the audible. Handoff, and that will get him 2. 4th tackle for Mann. Roger Craig should be in Canton. 2nd and 8. 6.5 to go here in the 3rd. Excuse me. So Montana. Medium slant to Dwight Clark on 2nd down. Montana rolls around, throws. Oh, he had it there. Darrell Green knocked it away, but Clark had everyone else beat. Was that the guy who played James Bond? Todd Beat's been to Canton and never played it down. Yes, Craig. Roger Craig. So 3rd down and 8. 5:53 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 23-17 Washington. Earl Cooper on a medium cross. San Francisco sticks with a play call. Montana back. He throws. He's got Cooper at the 5. He's got Cooper for 6. 5:47 to go. Earl Cooper tops it off. 7 plays, 45 yards. Well, he either visited his sister Winnie or his physicist brother Sheldon. Here it is again. So we are tied at 23. And the extra point from Wersching coming up. And Wersching boots it through. And remember, I like my rowing machines shaken and not stirred. 5:47 to go here in the 3rd. 49ers 24, Redskins 23. D.B. Cooper. You know, that happened the day before I was born. So Nilms will stand back at his 7. Driven back to the goal line. To the 10. 20. He's hit at the 30. And it's all coming back. And Ullman for sure there, Brad. Charles Mann, who will be on a cookbook for Joe Gibbs. Shakes his head. So Theismann and company come out from their own 14-yard line. Riggins. Trap right on the counter. Hand off from Theismann. Riggins gets nowhere. Jeff Fuller with a block. We don't want me to disappear. Thank you. So 2nd and 10 on the Redskins, now trail by 1. 5.5 clock running here in the 3rd. Calvin Muhammad. Short hitch on 2nd and 10. Theismann back to throw. Quick throw to Muhammad is incomplete. And now will be 3rd and 10. 3 wide receivers. Not until the game's over anyway. Thanks, Brad. So 4:59. Clock stop. Joe Washington in the backfield. Theismann will work out of the gun. Monk. Medium slant from the 14. Theismann has time. He throws. Monk's got it, first down. So Art Monk has a 100-yard game. There, you see it right there on 5 catches. Well, we just did a new one yesterday, Brad, on Project Prep. So you can listen to that. Available at Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker, or Mr. Gardner's YouTube channel. Wherever else fine podcasts are listed. 1st and 10, 4:52, clock running. They stay with this formation. Washington on a sweep left to the far side. Joe's got a block. And Jeff Fuller closed it. So no gain. Ball on the 27-yard line. Riggo in the flat, near side. Theismann throws. Riggo's got it. 25-30. He's going to get a gain of 8 on it as Jeff Fuller with a tackle. Second catch for Riggins for 14 yards. 3rd down and 2. 2 tight ends set. Walker and Warren, the tight ends. That's Doc Walker. Clint Didier, by the way, has a case of food poisoning and won't be back. It's a lot nicer to say than intestinal. You're hoping they can get Aunt Becky? I believe Aunt Becky is doing some teaching at that high school in Ohio. Riggo, trap left, handoff from Theismann, and they stuffed him. It's a 1-yard gain as Joe Jacoby couldn't get the block down, and Ricky didn't lose that number, brought him down, and the Redskins on their own 36. Theismann goes, I want to run it, and Gibbs says no. So Jeff Hayes, for the first time today, will come out to punt. He's got the wind in his face. He's paying tribute to the great white round one. Okay. So Hayes from the 36 punts it away. McLemore from the 30. And that is rolling dead. It's a short punt. And San Francisco with 2:08 to go in the third takes over on their own 31. We are trying to get Clay. I don't know if Dave is still here or not. We have approached him about it. Clay doing season ticket baseball and the author and creator of Baseball Mogul and Football Mogul. So 1st and 10 for the 49ers. They lead 24-23 late here in the third quarter. Tyler. Sweep left. And off from Montana. And Tyler is hit by Dexter Manley for no gain. So spotted at the 31 of San Francisco. Defense is now coming into play. Tyler in the flat is the call. Far sideline, Montana throws. He's got him behind the 30. Tyler gets hit at the 34 by Malott. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 with a $1:24 to go, clock running. Gonna buckle up here for a wild and woolly fourth quarter. Clark on a medium hitch. Montana is blitzed. He throws near side, incomplete. Darrell Green with the good coverage, and San Francisco goes 3 and out. We've passed the 1 o'clock hour. And so it's time for me to tell you, I'm Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program. 47 seconds left to go in the third quarter tonight on Retro Sports Network after the game. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety, except for on the West Coast where it will be seen in its normal time, followed by the CBS special event, Murder, She Watched, the precursor to Murder, She Wrote, a 2-hour movie premiere starring Angela Lansbury and the Teapot from Beauty and the Beast, followed by Simon and Simon. That's tonight on Retro Sports Network, home of the champions. Gurney and I are Facebook friends. We can make that happen. So Runninger back to punt on 4th and 7. Oh, yeah, that's right. The precursor would be murder she thought about. Yep. Runninger back to punt. They're going to let this one try to get that. Nilms driven back to his 15, to the 20, and it's a 4-yard return for Mike Nilms. Simon and Simon. Yeah, a lot of people like that. So 41 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Before Gerald McCraney married Delta. He was in Major Dad. My sisters loved Major Dad. Griffin on the run here. Season finale just murdered. Griffin on a pitch to the nearest or far side. And he is hit behind the line by Farnhorst for a loss of 3. So 35 seconds left. My throat is having so much fun right now. So 2nd down and 13. Theismann will go to the air. He's 11 for 18 for $174. Monk on a medium hitch. Theismann, quick throw. Monk's got it, 25, gain of 8. Won't be a first down, and that is the end of the third quarter. We've played 45 minutes at the open air here at Candlestick Park. The 49ers 24, the Redskins 23. We'll be back after I take a drink and you watch this. So third quarter scoring is I got to sneeze. Great timing for that. 30 seconds I could have done all that. Mark Mosley with a 26-yard field goal to make it 23-17 Washington. Then San Francisco with 5:47 to go pulls ahead on a 14-yard pass from Montana to Cooper. Not DB. If she thinks about murder, is that premeditated? Close. And October 16th will be Angela Lansbury's 96th birthday. Still solving crimes. First downs, Washington 15-13 over San Francisco. Net offense 277, 230 in favor of Washington. Time of possession pretty much even. Theismann 12 of 19 for 182. Montana 12 for 20 for 178. And Riggins 15 carries for 72 yards. And as Brad says, as we look at 3rd and 5, at this age, it's not premeditated, it's premedicated. Send your cards and letters too. Remember, you'll love it at Levitt's. Calvin Muhammad, medium fly pattern from the 25. Theismann back to throw it. He does. He's got Muhammad open by the 45-yard line. 1st and 10. Ronnie Lott. A gain of 20. Muhammad, 2 catches now for 41. You fed the big clue? I think you all feed each other bad puns. Don't worry about that. So 1st and 10. Redskins have it at their own 45. Joe Washington in the backfield now with John Riggins. Sweep right for Big Joe. Theismann hands it off. And Washington got a gain of 3. Yeah, you all feed each other the bad pun. You're all as Ewan's down here. Okay. You're all as innocent as the driven slush, okay? 2nd down and 7. Washington, short flat pass. Far side, Theismann throws. Joe's got it, 45, 50, 45 and a first down, and Keena Turner knocked him out. after a gain of 12. So San Francisco 40-yard line. 13-26. Griffin back in the game for now for Washington. Literally. Trap right for Riggo. Hand off from Theismann. Riggo, 35. He's hit it to 33 by Jeff Fuller. George Stark with a big hole. Just no rocket scream. Okay. Gibbs threw that play. Well, Theismann tried to run it down inside the 10 and he got lost 7 yards. So Theismann's been told to keep his legs closed. 2nd and 3. Although Mr. Theismann's thrown a pretty good game. It'll be New Orleans and San Francisco for you Tuesday. Baseball special for you Wednesday. And Seattle and New England for you on Thursday. That's the schedule for Week 3 right here on Retro Sports Network. Griffin. On a counter dive. Theismann hands off. Griffin. He got 2. He needed 3. So Keena Turner with the 8th tackle. 7-play, 49-yard drive. They are in Mosley range here from 48. Theismann says, "Can I run? Can I run?" Gibbs says, "Let me tell you about my friend Smoke." Short cross to Don Warren on 3rd and very short. Theismann waits. Gonna scramble, and this time he got the first down. Dwayne Board chased Theismann around, and Joe got the gain of 4, and they convert. So 11:58 to go. Ball on the San Francisco 27, 1st and 10. Riggins. Off tackle left on the counter. Hand off as he goes to the far side, and he is met immediately by Jim Farnhorst. Somehow the heavens collide, and it's a gain of 2, but Farnhorst nearly stood Riggins up. So a good penetrating drive here from Washington. Griffin. Sweep right. Near side. Hand off from Theismann. Griffin is pushed to the sideline. They got nothing and liked it. From Jeff Fuller. Any chance of an Australian rules game? Roberto Schiavini. Oh, man, my voice is... You'd be lucky to get me through this. Roberto Schiavini has a good Australian rules game. It's just not the most streamable thing on the planet. So 3rd down and 8. Charlie Brown back out on the field. He's up at the far side. Monk. Medium fly from the 25. Theismann back to pass. He's going to scramble. He gets the first down and more. He's inside of the 9-yard line. So 1st and goal there. Eric Wright with his 10th tackle. I've never seen a tractor pull game. I've seen it in the catalog, but I've actually never seen it played. So it's a gain of 16 by Theismann. And Joe Gibbs just stands there silently. 1st and goal from the 9. Redskins trail 24-23. Riggo. Off tackle right. No counter. Hand off there. He gets it to the 7. A gain of 2. The Australian rules football game. Yeah, in the early days of ESPN. Joe smirks at Ron after the run. Yep. I didn't call it. I thought about it on 3rd and short, but I went with the pass instead. And Theismann just said, yeah. 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 Has the top 5 scores for each team, and you can actually roll to see who gets individual scoring chances. So it really is a cool game from Roberto. But there really isn't that much to see. 2nd and goal from the 7. You want a smash-up derby game? Didn't you watch the Denver-Chicago game we did the other day? That was pretty smash-up. Griffin on a quick pitch. Theismann on the option. Gives it to Griffin. And Keith will lose the football. and it's taken by San Francisco. Jim Farnhorst returns it to the San Francisco 24. And so Griffin got nailed by Ricky Ellison, who stripped the football, and Farnhorst picked it up. There's your smash-up derby. Here it is again. And so 9:07 to go. That's the third turnover for Washington. Tyler, trap right, hand off from Montana. Tyler gets it out to the 28, a gain of 4. That's 2 big fumbles for Griffin, that's right. So 2nd and 6. Too early for San Francisco to sit on it. Craig in the flat, near side, Montana. He's got him at the 23, 30, first down, over to 35, as Olkowitz brings him down after a gain of 9. 4 catches for Craig on the afternoon for 82 yards. 8:23 to go. Farnhorst tripped over the 20. Yep. So this one's been a pretty good ball game. Craig on a sweep to the right is the call, far side, and he gets over the 40. It's a gain of 6. Milt Kaufman with a tackle, spotted at the 43, and the 49ers are trying to find a groove that you can't disturb. Wendell Tyler, off tackle right on 2nd and 4, handoff from Montana, and he only got 2. Perry Brooks with the tackle. Tyler not having a great game. 12 carries for 38 yards. Halfway home here in the third quarter. Montana going to look at his own number. Instead wants to go to Dwight Clark on a medium slant. Montana rolls, throws down to Tyler, and Wendell gets a first down and more. That's a gain of 10. So Montana goes to a second read, and Tyler delivers the first down, 6:18 clock running. Craig on a trap right. Montana hands off. Craig to the 40. Craig gets a gain of 9. Fred Quillen, the center, ripped open the hole, and Rich Malott with his 9th tackle. So the 49ers, who won this game, we were told 37-31 in real life, holding on to a 1-point lead, but they had the ball, momentum, and the clock in their favor. Yep, the Redskins need a stop right here. Tyler on a fullback dive on 2nd and 1, and he will get it. He got the Gardner measurement. That looks short. I can hear Al Red Sox fan right from here. But they got it, and it's a fresh set for the 49ers. 4:53 to go. From the Washington 35. Cooper, the tight end, on a short cross. Montana is blitzed, and Dexter Manley brought him down. It's a loss of 9. San Francisco isn't too bothered by that because the clock is running. They've already taken 5 minutes off the clock, as my analyst Peter Brady says. So Tyler on the draw from the Washington 44. Gets to the 40. Hit at the 35 by Vernon Dean. The Redskins play prevent. And Craig made the big block for Tyler to get 9. So 3rd and 10. 3:28. And they are in worshing range. Craig on a medium out. Montana can't find Craig. Griffin had 7 fumbles and 105 touches. Ouch. So the clock stops with 2:55 to go. And they're going to bring out Wershing here for the 53-yarder. So Montana will hold it. There's a 40% chance of this. If not, the Redskins will get the ball. Now we're thinking about this. Do we take the delay a game and pooch it? They changed their mind. Oh, I can't take the delay, can I? Darn it. So they're going to try a poochie here. Runinger gets rid of it, and that will be rolled dead at the 2-yard line. So they trust their defense to do the right thing, and Washington starts this drive with 2:47, all 3 timeouts, and if they win this now, they'll have earned it because they start from their own 2. Two tight end set. Warren and Doc Walker. Riggins. Just move the line. That's all they care about. He does. He gets it to the 9. That's a gain of 7. They go hurry up again. Riggo. Off tackle left on 2nd and 3. They'll get the first down. They hope they do. Over the 15. It's a gain of 8. First and 10 from the Washington 17. Monk on a short cross. Theismann waves, throws, incomplete. Right, left for the interception and couldn't get it. And now they'll go 3 wide. 2nd and 10 from the Redskins 17. 24-23 San Francisco. Charlie Brown. Medium slant. Theismann ignores the audible call. They blitz. Theismann is set by Ricky Ellison. And we go to the 2-minute warning. So 3rd down and 16. And Washington is in the block. Monk must pass. Medium slant. Theismann flushed. Throws. Incomplete. Oh! Right hit him. Monk won the flag, and Theismann won the flag. Nothing there. So Theismann's going to roll out. 4th down and 16. Here's the ball game right here. A long hitch. Theismann just needs to do something with it. He will roll. He will throw. And the 49ers are going to win. They played a prevent. They tried it, and it did not work. So the 49ers, a minute 48, ball on their own on the Redskin 11. Montana. Dive to Craig. And Roger is hit at the 9. Gain of 2. Washington calls time. So 2nd and 8. 49ers are looking like they're going to escape this. Joe Pisarcik in the house. He's in Philadelphia. 2nd down and 8. Tyler on a fullback dive. And off from Montana. Tyler is hit at the 8. A gain of 1. Rich Malott, his 10th tackle of the game. Redskins call time. Montana says, I want one shot at this. Will you give me a shot? Oof. Oof. And the answer is, Rich just passed away a few weeks ago. Oh, Rich Malott. Okay. So a fullback dive for Tyler. They're not going to throw it. Tyler moves the line to the 5. It's a gain of 3. And so the 49ers will let this run all the way down. And call the timeout with 52 seconds to go. And they will force the Redskins to score a touchdown. Wersching from the 5, so this would be a 22-yarder. Montana holds it. Wersching hits it. And so your turn, Washington. 49 seconds to go. And Washington potentially gets another bite of the cherry. They play for the return. This is kicked deep to Nelms at the 5, to the 20, 30, and that's not what San Francisco wanted. Clark with a tackle, but Theismann is on his own 38 with 41 seconds and a timeout. They can go over the middle once. 4 wide receiver set. Washington the setback. They're going to roll out of the shotgun. McGrath is the 4th receiver. Muhammad on a medium slant. 41 to go. Theismann rolls near side. He throws complete to Muhammad at midfield. And he's brought down by Ronnie Lott after a gain of 18. They'll hold the timeout. 1st and 10, 44-yard line. Monk on a long out. Theismann rolls, throws. Monk's got it near side. Far side, he's out of bounds with 15 seconds to go. And the ball is on the San Francisco 26. So Monk, 7 catches for 126. He won't need a Hail Mary. He's got 2 plays here. They could conceivably go over the middle. Because they got the timeout. Muhammad on a medium slant. Theismann waits, throws. No, incomplete. 11 seconds to go. This 49er team really is a candidate for the 72 Dolphins Award. I think they could run the table. But their defense has got to do it right now. 2nd and 10, 26 seconds. You don't need the end zone right now. You have the timeout. Muhammad on a medium out. Theismann better hurry. He goes near side, incomplete. And there's 7 seconds. Now you gotta go for it. Carlton Williamson with a hurry. Ronnie Lott on the coverage. And I think now you got one chance. They send everybody out deep. Theismann, 7 seconds from the 26. Near side. Hicks deflects it, and the game is over. Whoa. He went to his 4th read in McGrath, and that was it. Oh. Clock mismanagement. I don't know what else I could have done there. Anyway, what a football game. I didn't have the computer should have squibbed it. And it kicked it deep. That was fun. So, who's my MVP? Roger Craig had a fantastic game. Dramatic finish. Yeah. 10 carries, 51 yards, 4 catches for 82. Theismann of Montana with tremendous games. Ray Wersching just could not, there wasn't any good option there to throw on that third down. They ran it down to 56 seconds to go, or 49 seconds, and Washington nearly pulled it off. On that last drive, in 41 seconds, they ran 5 plays for 36 yards. Wow. All right. So it'll be the 49ers and the Saints who are now 2-0 on Tuesday. Baseball for you on Wednesday. The Patriots and Seahawks from New England on Thursday. Yep. You know, for the Redskins, you can't turn the ball over 3 times 2 against this team. They fumbled it twice late. They fumbled it inside the San Francisco 10 in the third quarter, too. So, not much. They only had the ball twice in the fourth quarter. They turned it over on downs, and San Francisco just did what they had to do. So, all right, final score is San Francisco 27, Washington 23. Thank you so much for watching Week 3 next week. As we said, the 49ers and Saints and the Seahawks and the Patriots. Yep. All right, we'll see you then. Have a good weekend, everybody. So long.